Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of the Fishing Teacher, and thanks for joining us for a little on the water video here today. Guys, today what we're going to do is I'm going to take you through a tour of a marina, and I'm going to show you the key areas that bass usually use when you're in a marina type area. You know, marinas are really good places to catch fish at. They get overlooked a lot. And like I said, there's some key elemental areas in a marina that hold a lot more fish than other places. So we're gonna go over that in today's video. Also guys, quick reminder about our April sale on my Solar Bat Series RB2 and RB3 series sunglasses here. If you'd like to get a pair in April in the sale, you can get them at 30% off right now. I'll include the Solar Bat link in the description if you guys would like to check those out. Get you a pair, it'd be much appreciated there. Okay guys, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna turn the camera around. I'm gonna take a little tour on the marina right here on the trolling motor, and I'm gonna show you some of the key places that you need to look for to catch bass. So here we go. Okay guys, we're gonna start shallow and move out to the deeper part. Now, here is some of my favorite areas of a marina to fish. The walkways that actually connect the marina to these, the big, you know, commercial docks out here. These long marina docks that have the floats on them like this. A lot of times, guys, the bass will get underneath these floats right here. These are really key areas. In deeper water, they'll suspend underneath them. You know, if it's a little bit shallower towards the bank, they'll get on the bottom. But one of the key techniques for this is you have to learn how to skip underneath here. So you can skip a swim bait, a wacky rig, a jig, a shaky head on a light head. And these are some of the key areas also. The fish love to spawn underneath these things, but not just in the springtime of the year. They use it all year long. But the walkways get a lot of fish underneath them because a lot of people don't mess with them, because most of the time you do have to skip underneath there to get back in there. So a lot of people don't really know how to skip too good. Now here's another critical area in a marina. It's the area between the docks here. So there's always on these marina docks, you got, you know, an open section of bank usually like this. These fish can really relate to the banks itself a lot of times of the year, especially in the colder months or early in the morning in the summertime. You can fish a topwater around this type of stuff early in the morning. In the wintertime or the colder weather, you can fish a jerkbait off of them. You can also drag like a football head jig, throw a shaky head. All that stuff can be really good for that too. There's a couple little perch in the water right there. That's another reason. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's some perch swimming around there. The perch love to be hanging around these marinas because they love to eat the algae that's on the floats and stuff, which keeps a lot of bass in here. Another key area, guys, is the inside part of the dock. Not necessarily the walkway, but the part where the walkway attaches to the dock there. This is a high percentage area. Again, pitching and flipping a jig up underneath there, throwing a shaky head, wacky rig. Anytime that you can get in on that inside corner, this is normally the shallower part of a marina dock, which is super high percentage area. Now, on the dock themselves, guys, when you see right here, as you can imagine, you know, the water gets gradually deeper as you get farther out in there. So what happens is as the water gets deeper, the fish position on these docks differently. Like down through here, as long as you're in this type of area, like, you know, you can see right there, it's 13 feet. You can probably catch a lot of fish on the bottom here. So pitching and flipping a jig or a creature bait back in there, trying to get it as far back in there as you can, like way back up in there, like almost to the walkway in there, you know, fishing it on the bottom. But as it gets deeper, as you can see here, now we're down to 20 feet. As it gets below 20 feet, these fish are going to start suspending around these docks, and they're not going to be on the bottom near as much. So for the suspended fish, what you have to do is normally fish lures like swim baits, you know, pitch a swim bait up underneath there, glide bait, and just fish it underneath the floats. That can be really good. And I know this is really hard to do because a lot of times these marina docks, they have boats in them, so they make them, it's very difficult to cast. But that's why the fish are here, because they're hard to get to. So my favorite way, again, is like to take some type of 4 or 5 inch swim bait, try to get it as far back up in there as I can. If there's not boats sticking out, I'll try to, you know, get it parallel to the side. But I don't catch a lot of fish off this part of the dock. It's the shallow end's the best, followed up by the deeper end. Now, once you get to the deep end of it here, this is another high percentage area. Most of the fish on a dock are going to suspend in and around these outside corners here. So any type of corner like this is going to be really good. Shad also like to spawn on here like in May, but this is a key area. A lot of these fish will like to suspend right along this outside edge. And many times the dock is connected. There's cables that come off some of these docks into deeper water. And a lot of times the fish will suspend on the cables out here. So keep an eye out for that. So anyway, guys, that's just sort of a brief tutorial on fishing marinas. Thing about marinas, some of them, you're allowed to fish them. Some of them, there are signs that say no fishing, which I don't agree with. Nobody owns the water. As long as it's a public body of water, I don't feel that these guys have any right to put signs up. In fact, I've challenged them before. I've had people come down here and say, oh, there's no fishing with 100 feet of the docks. I said, well, I'm on a public body of water, stop me. They'll go, well, I'm going to call the sheriff down here. I said, go ahead, call the sheriff. We'll have a talk about it, because there's really what gives them the right to say they own a part of the public body of water to keep people fishing around docks? It's absolutely ridiculous. So that's always sort of an issue when you're fishing marina docks. Sometimes you got guys that are, just really a-holes about it. Some guys don't care. Some of them are marked, some of them aren't marked. But like I said, that's just sort of the nature of fishing marinas. So anyway, guys, hope it helps out. We'll talk later.